stock market's about profits and about Washington staying out of the way. Yeah. We've got Washington off the table for now. We've got bountiful profits. That is great for the stock market. The administration never embraces the stock market because I think the administration thinks it's only for rich people. I think that's wrong. 90 million people at 401ks, they're dependent upon the stock market, but the president doesn't seem to care about it.
Ah, yes, there's words I can agree with. And you know the voice. Joining us now is Jim Cramer, the host of Mad Money, co-host of Squawk on the Street on CNBC, and author of a great new book, which we're putting up on the screen right now, Jim Cramer's Get Rich Carefully. And let's welcome in the man. Hello, Jim.
Hey, Steve, how are you doing?
Good.
Thank you so much for having me on the show. And, yeah, that soundbite's interesting because I keep thinking if the president were to come down to Wall Street and ring the bell, it would be a statement. But I think you think it would be a statement that he's a fat cat.
Yeah, well, he is a fat cat. He's a millionaire. He made over $1 million on the book. He's got stocks and trusts. But, you know, just like he doesn't have a problem with the Oprahs of the world and the NBA players of the world being millionaires, he has a problem with the little guy making a buck.
Well, I think that he's unfamiliar with the process, let's say that. And I think it's never too late to change your mind.
Do you think he'll ever change his mind?
He doesn't need to now. I guess he's not ever going to be running again.
And you were, by the way, on Meet the Press when you made those remarks, and you were sitting next to Gene Sperling, White House advisor. And, you know, you took to task not only Obama and the stock market there, but the Democrats and their view of business, correct?
Well, I mean, look, I'm kind of confused. I mean, we obviously have a time where we have a bigger labor pool than we need, and don't have that demand, and yet no one ever questions the orthodoxy of immigration. We all decided immigration is great. We have a series of trade deals that we've made with trading partners, including major countries, Korea, Mexico, where we've gotten completely pantsed. We've just done terribly. None of these places do we ever have hope of even having a surplus. They've all used our markets as dumping grounds, but free trade is another religion. And what I'm saying, and then, you know, we also now the fact that we care about global warming, but the countries that do most of the pollution, we accept their goods and they take our jobs. So, I mean, I'm kind of just questioning this notion of free trade, of immigration, of global warming, because I just think you have to put it on the table. I'm just calling for debate. I'm not saying, you know what, I'm pro-tariff. I'm just saying, you know what, we ought to be rethinking things because we are not creating jobs. And maybe there's something bigger at work than the minimum wage and the unemployment benefits.
Yeah, and when you say free trade, immigration, and global warming, I mean, I don't understand the push for immigration reform. High-skilled workers, low-skilled workers. Now, maybe I'm an idiot, but we don't have people working now. Now you're going to bring more people in?
What you and I just said I regard as common sense. After my appearance on Meet the Press, I was inundated with people who said, why are you willing to speak the truth and others not? And I have to tell you, maybe you can help me. To me, this is so basic. Like, you know, we obviously should be taking care of our own. We're Americans. Like, why can't we take care of Americans? And how did that get to be bad? I'm trying to figure it out. How did it get to be bad that we should be thinking about the people here first before we start worrying about the people coming in? Tell me how the people coming in create jobs.
I got to tell you, Jim, I see it right now. I see it right there on you. You got a big X on your chest. It's for xenophobe. Me, I have an H, I have an R, I have a Z, I have every letter you could possibly imagine because political correctness has gone crazy. It's gone nuts. Of course, it's common sense. But you're the financial expert, too. All I hear from Wall Streeters and the Wall Street Journalers and all that is, you know, oh, no, we help the economy because these people – I don't get it.
Can't we just help people get jobs who live any problems in our country? I live, you know, just a few minutes away from Irvington and from Newark. And, you know, I don't think that immigrants would create a lot of jobs in those towns. I think that –
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
But this is not a radical proposition. This is the way our country used to be. And somehow these ideas of unlimited free trade with the Chinese and unlimited immigration have somehow become, like, good. And I question that. But, yes, you're right. By questioning that, I think I'm going to there's a lot of people who are going to gun for me. But At a certain point, we can't care.
No, I hear you.
We have to look ourselves in the mirror. That's why I really am concerned.
Well, Jim, we're talking to Jim Cramer, author of Jim Cramer's Get Rich Carefully, which we're going to talk about here. Also, CNBC, of course. You watch him every day, as I do when I can. Mad Money and Squawk on the Street, which I do watch in the morning, and I see you on there every morning. But let's talk about the book, because Get Rich Carefully. Is it still possible to get? I mean, now we're seeing today, for instance, I know it's one day, and stocks declining. The Fed's talking about tapering. People are worried about earnings. Where are we right now after the record run-up that we had last year?
Well, a day like today is ideal for the kind of philosophy that I'm putting forward in Get Rich Carefully. So what I'm saying is these day-to-day fluctuations, find something you really like that you believe in,
and forget about it.
And when you get these fluctuations, this is when you go buy 10 shares. Like, maybe your company, you believe in your company, and you think longer term that the idea that you believe in a company about the new frugality, for instance, where ever since the Great Recession ended, people just don't want to spend as much as they used to. Well, where do they shop? They shop at Costco. Okay, now Costco's now down $8 straight. Costco said last week that business is very good. So they just literally said it. The stock is down badly. This is a day where you go by Costco. And I just think that what you have to do is say, I believe in this theme. I believe in it not for tomorrow, not for next week, not for next month, but for multiple years. I believe that people are going to be frugal for a long time, and that's when you buy it. And you have to have conviction, and the way you get conviction is to do some homework. Someone this morning was saying to me, well, Jim, I don't think it's right that you ask people to do the homework. And I said, well, I don't think it's right that they buy stocks then.
Right. No, I agree.
I know people who spend a huge amount of time on fantasy football, which is fine. I like fantasy football. But if they spent that much time just looking through an annual report and reading a conference call, they would be doing better, certainly making a lot more money than they do in fantasy, and it would actually be less addictive in the sense that fantasy means Thursday through Saturday, or just enmeshed. This is your money.
This is your life, your future. You think people would investigate their health too, but they really don't. Listen, Jim, I could talk to you for hours, and I really hope you'll come back. And the book, folks, it's all in the book, and there's no better person to take advice from. Jim Cramer's Get Rich Carefully, and watch him on Mad Money on CNBC every night and Squawk on the Street every morning. Boy, you put in a long day, and I appreciate you coming on. Best of luck.
Oh, it was great to talk to you. Thanks for letting me speak common sense. You've got it too.
And I'll tell you, we could compare X's on our chest. Thank you very much, Jim.
Okay, thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye-bye.
Jim Cramer, ladies and gentlemen, here on the Steve Malzberg Show. When we come back, A-Rod or A-Royd, Bill Madden, baseball Hall of Fame baseball writer. He's in the Hall of Fame. Will join us. Steve Malzberg Show. Don't go away.